So this is a longer update. I'm 7 weeks out for my race, 4 weeks of normal training, 3 weeks of taper, and I was working out how I want to finish my training. So I decided to come up with the following schedule. I'm already in the first week of the 4 weeks. So every day except Sunday and Saturday, I walk 2 miles when I get up to get my legs loose as a kind of a recovery. I have been doing that. On Monday, I also do 1 hour weights, and I increased my 10K run, was about 6 miles, to an 8 mile run with 1 mile walk. I do that for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I must saying is that Tuesdays happen to be my roughest day. I don't know why. Maybe it's still the recovery of the long run on Saturday, but that's I'm struggling the most. On Fridays, I want to be fresh for the long run so that I have a quality long run. If I to beat up, I will scale it back on Friday. I might only walk, do an easy run, do an easy short run, whatever I think is appropriate. On Saturdays, I do the 20-mile long run, and the last mile is 1 mile of walk. So I run 19 miles, 1 mile walk. And what is different now, on Sunday, I put a rest day in. Before I was running the same distance as during the week, and by putting a rest day in, basically I run the same amount of miles every week, but I have now kind of two rest days on Friday and Sunday. Uh, and the rationale for that was is to to improve the quality of my runs during the week. I want to be able to do. I feel that I can do the 8 miles easily. If I want to be end up some faster pace sections in one of those runs or two of those runs, that I can do that without having an impact on the next day. And we'll see how that works out. I started doing that last week, and I felt that I get more quality runs that way. After 4 weeks, on October 14th, I begin my taper. My taper is 3 weeks. My last long run is October 7th, and then I I will reduce. The first thing I will do, I will not do a long run on October 14th, but do an 8 mile plus 1 mile walk. That should already make the next week much easier, not having the recovery time for a long run. And then on week 21, I reduce all the 8 mile runs into 6 miles. And the week before the race, I do no weights, reduce all runs to 3 miles and 1 mile walk. Friday is my travel day, and I need to fly to Chicago. So the reason I look at some other tapers, the reason I'm still running every day, even as a shorter distance, instead of adding more uh, rest days, is I feel that running every day helps to recover better. My I'm not a medical person, but that is what I learned over the years. Uh, is if you are sore to some extent from an exercise the day before, you do the next day the same exercise, your muscles create a kind of an anti-inflammatory response. Just instead of going in a full bore recovery, where the inflammatory response is going all out, it is reduced, kind of a local ibuprofen. So that's why I like to run every day. And also, I felt if I don't run every day, my right foot get a little stiff and things like that. By running a little bit, everything stays loose and fine. So this is my schedule. I decided also not to increase my mileage in the last 4 weeks, but basically stabilize on this. And I think that should be plenty. And to see how it goes. I will probably not do another update until I'm in the taper to see how I feel when I do this taper, because I have never done a taper like this. When I did my Ironmans, my taper was basically 2 weeks sitting on the couch, and that served me well then. But I'm not sure if that was the best way of doing it, and I decided to change it up a little bit and choose to do a taper as I discussed here. So let's see how it goes. I will report back when I'm in the middle of the taper and see if this plan worked out. So far, I'm injury free. Of course, if you run a lot of miles, you have always little nicks and bruises, and I try to manage that without getting injured. And the other thing I did fundamentally different this time over the almost since the spring, I incorporated walking as a structural part of my training. And my feeling is, and this is anecdotal, is that it helps me to recover. It helps me to keep my legs loose, and I think it served me well, especially when I run after long runs or a longer run. I walk for a mile to cool down and recover. So we will see. We'll get another update somewhere in the taper to see how the taper is going. And thank you so far. And we will uh, keep you guys. I was going over my Runkeeper statistics, and I thought it might be also interesting to show my running progression over 2024. As I said in my first update, around February, March, I decided to prepare for the 50K in November, and you see a steady increase in mileage over 2024. I expect September be on the same level as August and maybe a few miles more. And I believe that the amount of mileage that I have been doing and my long run consistently be around 20 miles. And I tested my fueling strategy for every long run. I think that it would be sufficient to prepare yourself for 50K. If somebody thinks that it is not correct or they have opinions about it, please let me know. I'm trying to figure these things out on my own. And if you have suggestions to do this better, also please let me know. Thank you for watching, and as I said earlier, we will get back with an update during my taper.